So in late 2018, toy company Funko, who were most well known for their Funko Pops toys, announced that they were going to be switching it up a little bit. And one of the first things that they were going to be making was a line of classic 80s slasher horror movie icons, but in a way that we'd never seen them before, in a crazy He-Man barbarian style. And I'll admit at first I was like a little bit torn. I couldn't decide if I liked them or not. There was very much like a He-Man style, but not quite, because the armour and stuff was actually sculpted onto them. It weren't separate pieces. But then at the same time, they were like classic horror slasher icons, something that I love, that I've loved all my life. Even from being a little kid, I've always been fascinated by Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael Myers, Pinhead, all the classic 80s slasher icons. I've loved them so much all my life. I used to create my own fan films when I was in school with my friends and do Jason versus Leatherface and Jason versus Ash and that kind of thing. I collected VHS horror movies the majority of my life. Horror movies and special effects are one of the things that made me want to create movies as I got older. So I've always had a mad affinity for these. So when I saw them at first, I couldn't decide if I liked them or not, and I didn't buy them straight away. But then my friend Wayne in Florida sent me a little care package, because every now and again, every few months, me and him will send each other a little shoebox full of toys just to keep us going. And the last box that he sent me had almost a full line of these Savage World figures in. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to open them and I'm going to see if I like them. And I'm so glad that I did, because I fucking love these figures now. It's nice to be able to go into Forbidden Planet and just pick some up now and again. This is probably going to be one of the only times that you can watch an all figured out episode, and I'm not only reviewing something that's like really new and really easy accessible, but something that you can like just go into a shop and buy right now, because I'm usually talking about something vintage, or I'm talking about an American exclusive from Nema Studios. These are ones that you can go into Forbidden Planet and just buy them now. So it's cool. I can like go cinema in the week, go see a new movie, go Forbidden Planet and pick up a Savage World figure, and that's exactly what I did. So the one that I needed to complete this set was Pinhead. I didn't have him. Wayne sent me Leatherface, Jason, Freddy and Michael Myers, but he didn't send me Pinhead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Pinhead figure that I got, and then we're going to review the whole line. So boom, I've got him finally. Got Pinhead. He's the last one I needed for the set. You do also get some little accessories with him, but they don't stick in his hands very good, and you get the laminate configuration, which is this thing. If you've seen the Hellraiser movie, Clive Barker's Hellraiser, you'll know how important this is to the storyline. The puzzle box. I've actually met Doug Bradley. He's a very cool guy. We interviewed him. There's an interview with him on this very channel that I did at HorrorCon UK a couple of years ago. Very cool guy. Stories for days, as you can imagine. This, however, does not look like Doug Bradley. This actually looks more like one of the straight-to-DVD sequels that they did of the movie. Yeah, this does not look at all like Doug Bradley. I don't know if these figures have the license to the movie, but not the license to the actor that played them. I don't know how it works. It's a very weird line, likeness rights and that kind of thing, if you get involved with toys, and I don't really know why, but this guy looks nothing like Doug Bradley, but he is instantly recognisable as Pinhead. So if we're looking at these figures, what they basically are is they're the horror slasher 80s most famous icons: Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Pinhead and Michael Myers, and they're done in a kind of He-Man barbarian style, so they all look like they could exist in like the He-Man Masters of the Universe Conan style world. So I love that fantasy shit. I love that sword and sandal fantasy shit, so the fact we've got these guys in that style is fucking awesome, and I'm buzzing. And I think as a child, if I knew that you could have got these to go with your He-Man figures, you could have got Freddy and Jason and stuff, I'd have been buzzing out so fucking much. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this line, because when I first saw them, I wasn't that convinced. Like I said, I weren't that convinced when I first saw them, but then I thought, raw, if I was a kid and I saw them and had a 5.5 figure to go with my He-Man figures and fight Freddy with Skeletor and shit, I'd have been buzzing out so much. And then when Wayne sent me the 4 figures that he sent me, I was just like, yo, I need this line. Again, Freddy looks nothing like Robert Englund, but he's very recognisable as Freddy. However, out of all of them, he's the one that's least recognisable, because we've only ever seen Freddy with a bald head or with his trilby hat on. We've never seen him with a hood like that. So that's the only one that's like, I wonder why they didn't give him some kind of trilby hat, some kind of stitched leather hat that kind of worked within that same world. I don't know, but the hood's still fucking cool. We've got Leatherface. Leatherface is awesome, and he's got 2 different hands. He's got a chainsaw hand, very much like Ash from Evil Dead. Oh, imagine if they did another wave of these and you could get Ash. yo, Ash and Chucky and Pennywise and shit, that'd be fucking awesome. But yeah, you can either have him with a hammer hand or a chainsaw hand. I didn't take the chainsaw off and I just put the hammer in his hand like that. And that's obviously from that famous scene in Texas Chainsaw when he bashes the guy on the head with a hammer and his legs are like... And he bashes him again, drags him in and shuts the door. Then we've got Michael Myers. His weapon does not like staying in his hand, which is quite annoying. The handle on the knife is pretty thin compared to his hand, so it's forever falling out. Not a cool design. It could have been designed a bit better with a fatter grip on the knife. So a lot of the time I have to have him holding it like that, just so he doesn't lose it, because I would hate it if I lost his weapons. One of the things I'm all about, if you've got a loose figure collection, and I've got lots of loose figures, they've got to have the weapons. I can't have them without the weapons, or I can't sleep. I lose sleep if they haven't got the weapons. The funny thing about this Michael Myers as well is, like I was talking before about rights, likeness rights, and what they have the rights to produce. This is specifically Halloween Resurrection. Then again, we've got Pinhead. The only thing I don't like about this figure is that, well, that's quite annoying. His weapons are quite thin. They don't fit in his hand very well. They fall out. These would be on his belt. If you've seen the movie Hellraiser, he has all these like mad like torture utensils on his belt. If they fit on his belt, that would have been cool. But no, they go in his hands. But look at that. They don't go in his hands very well. They fall out. So again, a bit of a shit design on the width of the grip on the weapons. And also, I don't like that he's got like black nail varnish. I don't know why they've given him like some Marilyn Manson gothic black nail varnish. I know he looks very bondage and very like dark and evil, but I don't think that he needed to have nail varnish. That's just my personal take. And then very last but certainly not least, we've got my favourite slasher of all time, Jason Voorhees. Jason is my favourite. Like, oh, for so many years I've been creating Jason masks and selling them, and like I said, I used to make Jason fan films. He's my favourite. Out of all the slasher villains, he is my favourite. And do you want to know my favourite Jason movie? Jason Takes Manhattan. It's funny because that's the one that a lot of people hate the most, but I love Jason Takes Manhattan. I love that even though he's not in Manhattan a lot, when he is there, you've got all the mist coming out of the floor, you've got the toxic barrel. It's almost like a melt movie because he melts at the end. Spoilers. But I love this Jason, and also it's the best Jason when he gets resurrected. In part 6, Jason is dead, and Tommy Jarvis, big up Tom Matthews, I've hung out with that guy at HorrorCon, another guy that we've got an interview with him on this channel, and in that movie he plays Tommy Jarvis, and he shanks Jason's dead body in a grave, and lightning strikes the big metal spear that he's using. It reanimates Jason, and from that point on in the franchise, Jason is a zombie. He's a walking dead man, and he's got his spine, and he's got his ribs showing, and then at the end of that film he gets hit with a propeller from a boat and it smashes his mask, so that from the movies from then on he's got his teeth showing. Fucking awesome. So this is like a proper Kane Hodder Jason, so this is by far my favorite, and I really do like this line. Like I said, I'm not one for new toys, but it's very nice to be able to just nip into town, go into Forbidden Planet, see what they've got on, and pick up a couple toys for myself that, although are new figures, are very much in keeping with my favourite 80s 5.5 figures. The one gripe I've got with all of these, and it's very, very minor, like I said, I don't like to say negative things about toys, but the one gripe I've got with them that makes them feel not like a He-Man figure is that all their accessories on their chest are sculpted on. They're fixed. So if it was a He-Man figure, they would have separate armour. Like this, look, if it was a He-Man figure, its armour would be a separate piece of armor that fits over the body, and that's the only thing that, when I initially looked at these, put me off. That's the only reason I weren't really feeling them, is because all the stuff that's attached to them is actually sculpted on and not a separate piece of plastic that attaches to them, and I would have just liked that. But as I say, you put them next to a He-Man figure, a Masters of the Universe figure, and they just go together perfectly. And if I had those as a kid, if I could swing out Zodiac with Jason Voorhees in my bedroom, I'd have been a fucking happy kid. But I was a happy kid anyway, and that's why I never want to grow up. I think whenever they do anything like this, it's fucking awesome, because us as 80s horror slasher icon fans, we love to think that all these guys exist in the same universe in some way or another, so that at some point we could see Leatherface face off with Pinhead, even though Pinhead had probably fucking annihilate his entire family. But we like to think that they all exist in the same world, and that we might one day see Freddy versus Michael Myers, whether it be in a comic or a movie, probably not a movie, but in some form or another. And that's why I like when Mortal Kombat do the downloadable characters. So us as horror fans, we like to believe that all these exist in the same universe. It brings that crossover vibe into it, which I fucking love, and these just like reaffirm that. And if they don't exist in the movie world, at least they exist in the Savage world. So I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, all figured out. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, keep the support coming in. I really appreciate it. I've seen the subscribers going up every day, it buzzes me out and it makes me want to do more cool videos. So again, thank you for watching. I'm Theo Kane, Slimehouse TV, all figured out. Shouts to Wayne for sending me the initial 4 figures, and we'll catch you in the next one, but for now I'm gone.